Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Hey there.
Hi.
Hey, hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi. Hey. Happy early Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's.
From your Valentines. Brian.
That's us.
That's us. That's who we are. And Denise Richards. Your Valentine, Denise.
Denise. I mean...
I can't scoot over.
I just like...
No, you were fine. I just didn't know if you needed more room. I feel like we're on a plane.
Are we on a plane? We are like...
I have the window seat in it. Well, I guess it could be on that side. I don't know why I'm like imagining an aisle there. Window.
So, Valentine, 2001.
That's what we watched.
Yes. Yes. 2001, directed by Jamie Blanks, who directed another favorite of mine, Urban Legend.
Urban Legend. We didn't even talk about this before. He's saving all the juicy bits for the show.
It's like how when like at the end, spoiler alert, we're ruining it.
As usual. Literally every episode.
He's the killer. No, he's not. Well, I guess he still could be. He could have put someone else in the costume, and I'm just like, I don't know, maybe.
That's so great that he did his final kill in front of everybody. I mean, not everybody, but the only person left, and then she like takes comfort in his arm.
It was like an act of heroism.
Right.
A heroic act.
I thought she was totally pulling a Jennifer Love Hewitt and being like, guy I've known my whole life is probably this murderer, even though I don't really have any reason to think that, so I'm gonna like run to the arms or boat of a creepy murdery looking guy.
But we're starting at the end.
We are.
So we should start at the beginning.
Let's start over at the beginning.
At the middle school dance.
At the middle school dance.
Valentine's Day dance, where a lot of kids are wearing Cupid masks.
Which are creepy.
Little cherub baby faces. Creepy.
Cupid's kind of creepy.
And then we meet Jeremy Melton, a nerdy kid.
Asking all the hot girls to dance. Which, you know what? Like, you know what's going to happen.
I mean, and you know that kid. I feel like...
Annoying.
We know that
We're
kid
all
from middle school. And if you
kid.
don't think you know that kid, then you were that kid.
I know.
So
You're
he's
probably still
dance.
kind of
He's
that.
nerdy, like super nerd, because he's like pocket protector.
Yeah, big aviator
Coke
sort of style,
bottle-y,
Coke bottle glasses.
Just bad hair,
Greasy,
baggy clothes.
yeah,
like,
skinny,
nerdy.
little, skinny, tall,
Yeah, he was
gangly
60
guy.
They say like 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Later on.
Cute underwear though.
Cute underwear. I would
Really
wear those
cute
underwear today
underwear.
because I love underwear, and I'm like, hey.
They're a cute little brief.
Cute.
In a nice bold color. Which,
Yeah.
like, adventurous. Because you
80s.
have to dress down in PE.
Right.
Look at him not just having tidy whities.
He asks Shelly, she says no. He asks Lily, she says no. He asks Paige, she said she'd rather be boiled alive. He asks Kate, she says maybe later, Jeremy.
She's the nicest one.
It's like, maybe later, okay, I'll find you later. And then he asks Dorothy.
I should have gotten it because at the end, he's like, dance with me. And they dance. So obviously it was him. Oh, embarrassed.
He asks Dorothy, who is like the fat girl character of the group.
Which is also how she continues to see herself
yes.
throughout life.
When we flash forward, she is not fat.
At all. She's
rich. But really has nothing else going for her beyond that. Beyond
she
her
doesn't
father's money.
Right. Doesn't seem to like anything about her life.
No. So Dorothy is like, oh, I'll dance with you, Jeremy. But they end up making out under the bleachers.
And then the popular guys see them making out. And she pretends that he attacked her.
Yeah, and they say, pervert attacked Buffalo. Get him. Because they are mean kids.
And then Brian asked if my nickname was ever Buffalo.
Because she called a boy a pervert, a guy a pervert the other day.
Recently. He
very
didn't take it
recently.
well.
He did not
Turns
like
out
it.
that's not a compliment. Which is fair. That's fair. Anyway, I thought you were doing it because I paid $1 to that girl to call Jessie Jessica. Are you gonna do this episode, or are you gonna just watch your dogs
I'm just
look out the window?
No, they were peeing on the drapes, so that's what I'm looking at. So we're gonna pause this for a minute. Hi. They just pee next to the drapes, but
Crisis averted.
yeah.
So anyway,
So remember, pervert buffalo.
pervert in Buffalo, and she says he attacked her, and then they take off all of his clothes and beat him up.
They like really kick his ass. Too.
Yeah, because we see the pictures, right, from the like old police file, and he's got like a black eye and a split lip.
And yeah, and he's like, I mean, they're like kicking him on the ground. I'm like, well, that's not good.
No, that's beyond it. That's not inappropriate. Where were the adults chaperoning this middle school dance?
There are no adults in this.
Not a single one.
There's no adults at that dance. They just had this like dance on their own, and I'm like,
In
where?
the gym, which is
Because there were literally like there were so many adults at middle school dances.
yeah. All the teachers probably had to go. I don't remember.
We had so in 6th grade. Because my middle school was like pretty normal, where it was 6th, 7th, 8th, like
That's
when
what
we
I
got
did,
into
yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Some kids, you know, it's like 7th, 8th.
Right, they had like junior high.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
We had middle school.
And so for 6th grade, we had our dances were right after school. Did you have that?
Yeah.
And then like 7th grade is when we can do night dances. So I think 7th grade started night dances.
We only had one dance that 6th graders could go to.
Yeah, we didn't have
And
many.
then-
It was like 1 or 2.
Yeah, and then 7th and 8th graders could go to like 4 or something. They were
Yeah.
like season ones. Like the spring fling and the whatever,
Yeah,
something
we had
else.
like 2
cute.
in 6th grade, and they were right after school until like 4 or something.
We might have only had right after school all of middle school, and then when we did high school, we had all of our dances like downtown at like ballrooms.
And we only had like the fancy one, like prom. Prom was the only one where we left school.
No, our prom was at the World Trade Center in Portland.
In New York. Not.
They didn't fly us all to New York. That would have been cool. And it was outside, and prom is in like March. And so, shocker, it was cold and wet.
Yeah, shocking.
Shocking. Really, really stupid venue. But I think the year before was at the zoo. So, I guess that's just what we did.
Outside.
Outdoor proms. Dumb.
Because your prom was in March?
Yeah, I think so. When's prom?
I feel like mine was in like April or May. I feel like mine was in May.
Oh, ours was definitely in the cold. So it couldn't have been May.
I really feel like mine was in like
When's
April or May.
prom, guys?
Well, I feel like every school is different for prom.
It's not a thing? Not a specific timed thing?
I feel like it is the spring. I feel like mine was later spring and yours is early spring.
Oh. It matters to this movie when prom is. So anyway, that middle school dance happens and the beating up happens, and then
We
flash forward to Katherine Heigl on a bad date.
Yes. I was the good call because I was going to be like, and then we see Paige. But it's actually Katherine Heigl first.
Right. Yeah. On a bad date. And she...
With Jason.
who refers to himself in third person.
Jason doesn't like that.
Jason doesn't like that. Jimmy really likes Elaine. I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld, so...
I forgot about that episode.
Yeah, it's a good
It's a
episode.
one.
It's also the one with Mel Torme in it, I think, because Kramer gets those shoes that are supposed to help his vertical leap. So anyway,
Oh, so
Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, so she like bags out on this date.
After they split the bill, which she is like fuming about, which like, welcome to 2000 anything.
Yeah.
Men are like, just because we make 33% more specifically to take you out to dinner doesn't mean we have to buy you
went
dinner.
out on a date with a guy, and he took me to a McMenamins.
Strike one.
And then I took him. Our next like dinner date was like some Italian place, which was really good and more expensive than McMenamins.
Yeah.
Then he dumped me in a text message the day after.
Rude.
And I was like, "This is dating, and I hate it."
Dude seems to be totally willing to pay for whatever for me, which is really
I
nice.
like that.
It's like really nice. I mean, I've done dinner a couple of times where I've paid for it, but it's like nice that he's like.
Well, I did get a sugar daddy
request.
Yeah.
Direct into the DMs.
For someone to be my sugar daddy.
Yeah, not where he would be someone's sugar daddy. If you were someone's sugar daddy, what would you make them do? Would you just...
I don't know. This guy was just like platonic relationship over the internet.
Let me pay off your bills.
And like
today.
Platonic visits in person. And I'm like, I feel like there's something more there. But...
Do you not know what platonic means, perhaps?
Well, then I was like, well, in gay world, like, things mean different things.
Oh, yeah, because then
world,
Brian
like,
told me the definition of platonic.
Platonic, I don't...
Just normal. Just the actual definition.
But I don't know if it means something different in gay world. This gay person doesn't know.
So, if you guys know, comment below.
Yeah, I mean, but he was like kind of the type of guy I'd go for too. So I'm like,
you should have done it. Platonic visits.
I feel like it's 10 years too late, really.
Yeah. Plus, it would be awkward to be like, well, I have money.
I have bill. Like, I don't have bills for you to pay.
Yeah.
I don't have
to
debt.
Come up with something.
Yeah, and like you can buy me a car.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't need you to.
Hey, is Barry's car parked outside now?
Yeah.
I'm parked behind Barry. I was like, I think I'm parking behind Barry.
Oh, Katherine Heigl. So then she leaves this date and she goes back to like her med school morgue.
Right, and she's dissecting a hot guy.
Dissecting a hot guy, Chad, because of course his name's Chad.
He looks like a Chad.
And then she hears some
neither
noises.
of the Chads I know.
She hears some noises, and then like there's another hot guy student in there. And then she goes back to her body to dissect.
She hears more noises?
No. The body breathes.
Oh.
And she, like, I think she kind of notices that the stomach, because she's cutting into the stomach and it's all sectioned off, is, like, not, like, gray. And then it breathes, and then she looks, and the body that was on the table, the dead guy, falls against, like,
Chad.
the door. And then she
runs.
looks back, and he's gone. Because he's fast. He's really quick.
He's the fastest killer.
He's so quick. And
then she hides in body bags.
Joking.
This is what my parents always did to me, and I never found it helpful.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
really,
not helpful.
It's just kind of hurtful.
It just hurts. Yeah. So she hides in body bag, trying not to get stabbed, and the killer is like, stab it all the body bags.
Stab it. He stabs them all.
And then he stabs her. Well, slits her throat.
He opens the bag and she's screaming, and he pushes her down and slits her throat.
I thought she was going to be around a while, so it was actually sort of nice that she was gone so immediately.
Not a fan, so bye.
But I do like 27 Dresses. I'm just a real rom-com
It was
person.
a hit.
Yeah, you know,
is Kate Hudson in that? Someone else in that movie?
Person. I'm not the right.
I know,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I feel like you
The
like Kate
girl-
Hudson, so you should
No.
know who.
There's a Bridezilla girl who
Okay.
is famous.
Anne Hathaway?
No, she's not famous enough for me to know her name. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. She's just kind of a semi-famous person.
Okay.
I would say less famous than Katherine Heigl, and I would say Kate Hudson is more famous.
More famous than Katherine Heigl.
Um,
And then we see Paige.
Then we see Paige.
We see Paige and Kate, and they're going. Paige is dragging her to speed dating. But Kate's like, I kind of have a boyfriend, Adam, and
We're
Paige
just
is like,
on a break because he's a hurtful alcoholic.
Yeah, he's a drunk. And Paige is like, whatever, come and just do this. So they're like doing it, and they just meet some gems.
Yeah, really.
I mean, this scene
solid
is
guess.
just to really show you how
What
terribly
dating is
pathetic
like.
men are.
Such a terrible time.
So there's one guy in this that's like hot.
Yeah.
Brian.
And Paige swoops.
She swoops in because her friend is in a
It's
relationship.
in a relationship, a long-term relationship.
So they leave. They're leaving speed dating. Kate gets a call from Dorothy.
Not from the Golden Girls.
No. From the beginning under the bleachers.
Right. Buffalo.
And
she finds out that Katherine Heigl is dead.
Dead.
Shell dog.
Dead.
And then flash forward to the funeral.
Yes.
And so they're all there at the funeral, all the girls except for Katherine Heigl that were at the middle school dance.
Right.
And
Well, because Katherine Heigl, Shelley, was the first girl to tell him no.
oh, so it is in order.
And Kate says maybe later. So.
Right. And then that comes to fruition. But she doesn't say it last. Oh, but they dance before he kills, what's her butt? Dorothy. Okay, so then they're walking away from the funeral, and they're having kind of weird funeral conversation because they're just talking about cute guys or something.
Yeah.
And then Paige takes off her jacket, and it's like Tit City.
Tits out, spaghetti straps. We didn't like that we don't like spaghetti straps. I feel like it's still a big deal to wear a spaghetti strap.
To a funeral.
Yeah, tits out. I mean, I can see it, right? It's like, hey, put those things away for 5 minutes.
But then it is Los Angeles or something. Well, it's Vancouver,
San
BC.
Francisco, I think.
Right.
Because it's like
Oh,
Bay
so then
Area.
it's not even warm.
And then, but it's of course shot in Vancouver, BC, because Canadian films. Yeah.
So then
We meet Adam too. At the funeral.
Adam at the funeral, and he has a bottle of tequila in his car, and he's like, "It's totally a gift."
They both work for newspapers. Like, they're both like kind of reporters, journalists.
Yeah, he
like,
covers the Giants.
Yes.
Which I immediately thought football, but no.
But that it was San Francisco, so he would
it's
cover Giants baseball.
And then
America's
she
pastime.
Right, America's pastime. And then she does something else for the paper.
Yeah.
that
I mean,
is
it's
writing.
not really important.
It's not important.
Like, it's not.
So then we leave the funeral, and
Well, we meet the detective.
Oh,
too,
right, 'cause he comes to, like,
detective.
they're like, "Did you hear there's a police officer here asking about things?" Like, well, it's a murder, and it's like obviously a murder. It's not like maybe it wasn't a murder. Maybe she slipped and fell on a knife and cut her neck off, and then landed in a body bag.
Do we go to Dorothy's house? Is this when Dorothy gets the
Mail, and then
Valentine?
she's like angry. Yeah, maybe we go to Dorothy's house. Or
because
do we
Katherine
go to-
Heigl got a Valentine.
Do we go to? Who's the girl with the art boyfriend and the?
Lily?
Do we go to Lily's house or Kate's house and the iron on?
Yes.
Who's having their
Okay, well, so because
underwear
Lily and
stolen?
Paige are at Lily's apartment, which is incredible. I
Yeah.
would kill for this apartment.
Great
I think,
apartment.
like in 2001, and
It
now
is the
it's
apartment.
amazing.
And in the Bay Area,
I'm like, that is like $5,000.
seriously, it's massive.
At least.
I've heard that's really good for your muscles.
No,
and your
I
face.
feel like, I don't know. So, I feel like Dorothy's comes first because I really like Dorothy's Valentine.
Right.
And then I feel
But
like.
I don't think it's the first one because you were like, because I said, did they make these Valentines about one of them? Whose was that? Is it Kate's? And is she the house with the iron and the door is open and she like goes down the hall in her towel?
Yeah, I forget.
Is that the first one?
Well, Shelley is the first one. Shelley gets a Valentine at the morgue place.
And is that the... Okay, so maybe it
then
is
Dorothy. Dorothy says, roses are red, violets are blue. They'll need dental records to identify you. And that's my favorite one.
It's really clever.
And she's like, ugh, what? And then, like, she fights with her dad's wife.
Tangent, and I'm really sorry.
It's fine.
Okay, so I was watching a movie yesterday. Can't remember what. Good tangent so far. And on the soundtrack, you remember that song? Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me all the time, like check out the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Check out my prissy behind, it's fine all of the time.
Are you watching Jackass movie?
Like Sex on the Beaches. No, I don't remember that. I should remember.
That's in a Jackass movie.
It was literally last night, and it was not a Jackass movie.
Oh, with Joey.
With Joey.
Baby kangaroo.
With the baby kangaroo. And I think I watched like a percentage of the film. I can't remember it at all. I probably picked it.
Peaches.
Yeah.
The teaches the peaches.
Huh? What?
And then, okay, so Paige and Lily is a more interesting scene because they're in an apartment and they're, like, Lily's looking at, like, video dates.
Right.
Which I guess was still a thing in 2001.
Which is shocking to me that was still a thing, but I guess we were in high school, so obviously we would know nothing of that.
Lance is, like, the same height as her,
yeah.
so she passes on Lance. There's a knock on the door, and there's no one there.
I was watching Letterkenny.
Letterkenny!
I was watching Letterkenny.
Yes.
Watched a solid percentage. But they are only 30 minutes long, so that's not...
And you've watched it before, right?
Not all this. This is a new season.
It's a new season. And he likes Letterkenny?
Yeah.
Good. You found your soulmate.
No, all I needed was someone who likes Letterkenny in my life. Joey.
From Florida.
Joey from Florida.
Oh God, he might watch this. We're not making fun of you.
No, but now that makes it sound like we are. Not. We're not.
I'm not. I'm an asshole. It's me. It's me.
So yeah, I'm not an asshole. I'm a really nice person. But I'm not being an asshole right now.
No, you're actually being really pleasant.
Yeah, thank you. It's because I'm so tired.
So we're at Lily. So she opens the door and there's no one there but a box of chocolates and a note. And then her card says,
it's not as good.
No, it's not. So it says something, you are what you eat.
Yeah. And then she
bites into the chocolate.
Maggots.
Because she's a maggot.
Brian doesn't care for maggot seeds. And then he feels like he'd also be chugging orange juice.
Yeah, because then later she's like... And I feel like that seems so real to me. Because I feel like if you put something in your mouth like that and you just want it gone, you go for orange juice. It just seems to like it would wash everything away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Has
just
that,
don't like orange juice.
But it has that overpowering flavor.
Yeah, it
So,
does
like-
have quite a flavor. I think I would reach for Listerine.
Right. I mean, yeah.
So, but
no,
you know,
yeah.
but yeah. But yeah,
She's
if you
like
didn't
a
have
young
any.
girl in San Francisco.
She's in her early 20s, living life, eating maggots.
It's probably like Listerine. Like she's paying for this apartment, so she's like Listerine or orange juice.
Orange juice.
She goes for the orange juice.
Well,
'cause
there's
at least,
health benefits.
You know, and she can when she's hosting because they drink a lot of orange juice.
Yeah.
In this movie,
Orange juice and irons.
Kate and Paige drink orange juice later on. They're drinking orange juice.
Is it a mimosa? It's
I
orange
don't
juice.
know. I think it's just orange juice.
I mean, I guess cool.
It's not a mimosa, at least because
In
it's
the
not in
glass,
the glass.
right.
It's like in a highball glass, so it could be a screwdriver.
Screwdriver. Or a brass
But
monkey.
I feel like it's that funky monkey.
You put your left leg down, your right leg up. Tilt your head back, let's finish the cup. What else is in the teachers of peaches? Huh? What?
Brass monkey, chunky.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Orange juice and beer? What is that? What is a brass
Yeah,
monkey?
it's like malt liquor and orange juice,
Okay,
I think.
so
But
it's
I
like
don't know if
oldie.
it really is, or if that's just what we say it is
I
because
think
the
it
Beastie
is.
Boys song.
But I think it is. Because that's why there's the Beastie Boys song.
Some monkey makes it in a cup when I were the girl, baby, what's that? Shopper, sit, girl, she lit. I guess it doesn't tell you. It's never like orange juice and beer in my cup.
And then like
I don't give a motherfucker.
And then Kate has a thing where she's in the shower.
And the
and she
iron
hears
is
noises.
on.
There's like orange juice and irons in this movie.
That's what they could have called this movie. If they didn't want it to be a Valentine
She
theme
gets
movie.
out of the shower because she hears noises. And then she tries to get back in the shower. But her water all of a sudden is turned off before she's rinsed her hair out because she's heard noises.
Right, which
so
is
she
dumb.
goes to like call her landlord to be like, turn my water on, fix my water. She's trying all the faucets, nothing's working. And then
the kitchen sink comes on and
the
then she
iron goes off, like steams up, and she like unplugs it. I'm like, but you were in the shower
with the iron on.
Why is your iron on?
Dummy. But I guess maybe the person who came in
And then later at her house, the iron's just on,
again.
and no one's there.
No one's even home.
Unless I'm thinking did Gary
Creepy
turn
Gary's
it on?
turning on the iron all the time. Does he
Well,
iron
you
the
had
underwear?
a neighbor.
He
who would
wasn't
go,
ironing.
But he would go in your house and do things, and I know that someone was there when I was there.
Thanks for backing me up on that. I think people think that because I just say it like so candidly that it didn't really happen, but it was happening.
It happened.
Came in, took stuff, brought stuff back, took a shower in my bathroom, kind of got stuff
They
on.
were absolutely in your house when I was in your house.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I know what everybody's thinking who knows me, but I did lock the door, and I think they had a key. Well, they must have because they were in the house. So I just think they lived there before I lived there. So, not to risk us being sued for slander, but don't rent from Bluestone and Hockley. That's like just solid advice, just across the board. Don't do it. They're bad at their jobs.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
And that
O.J.
helps us to
Simpson
not get
killed
sued.
his wife.
Allegedly.
But he also got his coronavirus vaccine. O.J. Simpson did.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
My mom and dad can't get it, but God,
But O.J.
So then Marley Shelton Kate is like, oh, I need to get this soap out of my hair. So she
Dunks her head in the toilet
bowl.
Even though we all know that there is water in the tank.
Yeah, so.
That wouldn't be in a toilet bowl.
I mean, I'm assuming that she flushes her toilet, right? So the toilet in the bowl is clean.
Right.
Too. It's just weird. I don't know. It's all weird.
Just weird. It's a weird
I
choice.
just rinsed my hair
before I got out of the
Right.
shower. Especially since she doesn't seem like that confused that the water's off, so it seems like something that maybe happens on occasion.
So she gets a card. I don't remember what hers says.
Me either.
And then, like, her door is open.
And she goes
She's
out
in a
in a
towel.
towel. Even though she knows that her down
Scary
the street
Gary.
hall neighbor, like, definitely is a creeper.
And she, like, goes down. The elevator's stuck. It keeps opening and closing.
Right.
And she
there-
notices some creepy Cupid mask.
Which is not the same mask as the killer
Not
uses.
like, no, but I think it was just like, because it's like the same as what they were wearing
Right. At
the
school.
dance.
So
Then Gary comes out and is like, "You look
Creepy.
great, Kate. We should go on a date, Kate.
right.
You could be my mate, Kate.
Lots
This
of
could be
things
our fate, Kate.
rhyme with Kate.
You're scary, Gary.
Lots of things rhyme with Gary. Well, scary.
Scary.
Terry.
Airy.
Harry. Mary. Jerry. Larry.
Barry.
Barry.
No.
Oh.
Not
I'm parked
agree.
behind Barry.
Not agree.
No.
Like, Gary's a creep.
Gary's a creep.
As he says later on, he's not well.
He's not well.
He's not well.
Be easy on him. What does he say?
Go easy.
Go easy on me. I'm
Go
not
easy,
well.
I'm not well.
Then what? Then we go back to
The detective's office.
and everybody is no.
And-
Do they all get together first and talk about what's his name?
Oh, they go to the art. Do they go to the art? They go to the art show.
Okay, but
They go
okay,
to the art show, Max's
right?
art
Yeah,
show.
I have a
Really.
question. Well, I can come back to it. No,
No,
I'll
go
forget.
on.
I have a question. So they think it's this Jeremy
Melton, because
Milton,
the things say JM.
right? And they have Jeremy in custody at some point, and then they let him go.
No, they have Jason Marquette in custody.
Okay,
The
thank you.
Jason from the
I was
Beginning
confused. I was confused. Thank you. So then we're at the art exhibit, which is horrible.
Date. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible.
so
It's
bad.
awful now, but I just think it was awful in
It,
2001.
absolutely. It was called
It's
like a
just-
blind date,
And it's
and it's
men
so terrible.
one side, women the other, and they just walk through these giant mazes of
Of
televisions.
saying things that
Saying
you might
things,
say on a blind
I
date, I guess.
guess.
But they're creepy and
Like
repetitive.
weird, provocative photos.
They're like,
and
love me, love
Love me,
me, love me.
It's so fucking weird and just terrible.
Yeah.
And then Lily's making out with Max, the artist.
And then come to find out, Max has invited Amy
That's Amy. I invited her to
to
come
join
watch them
the
and
makeup
join in.
sesh.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, it seemed like she was
Because they're
getting
not in
ready
middle
to
school.
go.
They're not in junior high.
They're not in
anymore.
junior high anymore. Which is a weird thing to say because I don't think he went to their junior high school.
No.
So, like, why is that the age you'd choose?
We're
Why
just
wouldn't you
not-
say high school?
I don't
Why
know.
would you say junior
Because
high?
it just has to be focused on junior high.
Right.
Because junior
Because
is
high
out.
school students have threesomes left
Right.
and
they're
right.
just like doing cocaine and like
Rails.
rails, and then they go to church on Sunday morning. It's fuck. God, high school is fucking wild.
High school's a wild time. So,
Like my mom was mad at me because I wore pants to church because I had to cover up the scrapes on my knees from giving blowjobs in the fucking rocks.
is that a real story?
Yes, not me. Girl, I went to high school with.
Oh. I was like, why wouldn't you wear pants to
Because she had
church?
to suck dick at a party.
Had
Well,
to.
she had to suck dick at a party on a mountain, you know.
Makes
And
sense.
then
What else
she
would
couldn't
you
wear
do?
a skirt to church
Mhm.
because you could maybe see the scrapes on her shins when she was sitting down. So she wore pants, and her mom was mad.
All right. Not to be like a stickler, but 34 minutes and 14
I was
seconds.
like, "What are you doing?" Oh, you can't see it on my way.
I know, but you can totally see it here. I just wanted to really embolden. I can't roll these sleeves up because they're those weird tight Nike sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
God. It's like a white tattoo. Tattoo.
So there's like a part where the detective is showing them like a card, a get well card, or
Oh,
a
yeah.
condolence card that Shelley's parents got
from
Jeremy
Jeremy.
Mountain.
And it
says,
too bad, so sad.
Jeremy Mountain.
I would say that the weakest part of this whole movie is potentially that card. Because everyone doesn't want to claim that they were even in this movie, but the worst part of the whole thing is just that card.
I think it's fucking hysterical.
It's not a bad movie. Really. Too bad, so sad. What a weird thing to send to anybody.
So then I think that's when they find, like, when the detective finds out that they've all gotten cards from a JM, and he's looking for a Jason Marquette, and they know that.
Right. And they failed to tell him. And they were like, well, I thought that people were just like,
What's up,
and then
he's like trying to hit on
creepy
Paige.
and hits on Paige and puts his hand
and
on
this
her
is
leg.
why this is what I love. So I love Paige is my favorite character in this movie. She is like the slut character, but she's
surprisingly
not.
unslutty.
She's not. Like, she just has she has agency over her body,
right,
and like herself.
She dresses however she wants to dress, and that doesn't define who she is.
She is just like, I'm not consenting to this. Don't put your hand on my leg.
Yeah.
Put it up your ass.
That is exactly what she said. And then we leave the police station, and where do we go? Do we go back to,
I don't know, God, we just watched this movie. I think we paid attention.
And you watched it yesterday.
I know I did. It didn't glitch at the end, though, like it did last night.
Yeah, no, we got right through it.
Fixed it.
Good job. Where do we go after that? Dorothy's again? We don't go back there until the party, right? Or no, we do, because we go see her and her boyfriend,
Campbell, who's just like a total loser.
And gives her the ugliest necklace.
Oh my god, that he stole from that girl. And I'm just like, why? And I'm just like, I guess when she's wearing that suit, I'm like, okay, you would pick out that necklace, but like,
so ugly.
It's so ugly.
And then come to find out it's another woman's necklace who liked it. So at least two people like this necklace, which is just mind-blowing. Ugly. And she gets him like a Hue Blow or whatever crazy fucking watch.
And then they try to fuck. It doesn't work. He can't get it up.
Is that what happens?
I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
And that's why they're like twiddling their thumbs in bed after.
Yeah, so she is like taking a shower. She takes a shower. He like really aggressively opens the shower door and like throws a towel at her, and it creeps me out. I don't like it. Makes me uncomfortable.
Well, he's a creep.
Because she's still like showering.
Just get a wet towel.
And
then she was like, "Come in and join me," and it's like, why are you throwing yourself at this?
It's my turn, and he gives her that ugly ass necklace. And then she wants to like jump his bones,
which is.
But he like has stuff to do.
He's got meetings.
He's got meetings. He doesn't do anything.
And then when he says he's going somewhere, he doesn't go anywhere. He just goes to the pool to swim.
Yeah, he's going to
work
out. And then so she's like, "Oh, you're down there. I'm gonna call my intercom and tell you to turn the water heater back on, like the pilot light, because we lost the hot water in the main house."
And he's like, "Great,
I'm on
perfect
now. You get a Porsche for this."
So then he's in the basement and he drops all the matches that are on top of the freaking
like, perfect.
Great.
Great.
Perfect. Over and over again down there. Although he is very attractive. So
handsome.
If we're gonna give him any points. That's it. And then he gets murdered. And then
with an axe to the back.
Yeah. Painful.
Love that.
Painful murder. For sure.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Lily's death.
We're doing such a good job.
So Lily leaves after that, the make out thing, and Amy coming in. She leaves and she's trying to get out of this maze.
And she can't get out because it's a maze.
And then it's a maze, and lights start turning off, and then there is Cupid, and he shoots her with fucking
3 arrows and then like knocks her over
Yeah,
a
the
railing on a
third arrow,
staircase.
because she like falls through a picture and out the emergency exit door or whatever. That's right there.
Right
And
there.
then he shoots her a third time, and she flips over the.
Still seems to be alive.
Right, yeah, screams right into a dumpster that the
Which
top
would cushion
lid
her
closes.
fall. So it seems like
But she would just bleed out. Right?
she'd bleed out. So that's how she dies. And we did the axe to the back. And then we're at the party?
Yeah, and when they meet the detectives, he's like, "Isn't there another one of you?" And they're like, "Oh, Lily's in LA because
Right.
she had an early flight the next day."
So
to
they
LA.
don't know that she's
So they don't
missing.
know she's dead.
Or they never know,
They
No.
never know.
right? There's
I
no
don't-
body reveal
this
for her
movie-
ever.
Max comes to the Valentine's Day party because they have a Valentine's Day party in this movie because, of course,
Well, it's middle school.
rich people. And he says that Lily never went to LA. She's called the office. They don't know where she is. So Kate at least knows that she never made
Didn't
it
go to LA. Okay. So then Dorothy has all been out of shape because Campbell doesn't show up to the party even though he promised to. And then his ex-girlfriend or something shows up and is like, "That's my necklace. He steals everything."
And Dorothy is like, "He loves me."
It's really sad.
And I'm just like, oh, that's so sad. It's so pathetic.
It's the saddest scene.
And I forget this girlfriend's name,
Me too.
but I know the
She
actress's
gets
name,
thrown
Hetty
out.
Burris.
She gets
Yeah, but
thrown
she's
out,
like, "He loves your trust fund."
which is accurate. Then she gets thrown
Like,
out.
what do you think? He's your Valentine? She's
Didn't
kind
even
of
show
great.
up. Yeah, she is a good character.
She gets thrown out. Paige and Kate escort her the fuck out.
And then somehow she gets back in the house.
There's some. This movie was like cut
to shreds.
So all of a sudden she's in the house and she's like in Campbell's downstairs bedroom. That's somewhere in this compound of a house. And she's like steals the Rolex watch, whatever watch.
And
then some people walk by and she hides in the room.
really
Then
slowly.
she leaves.
Does she get...
She walks out. She's like in the game
She
room.
gets killed in the sauna.
Yeah, because she sees the Cupid masked killer dragging
Excuse me.
the housekeeper into like the game room area, and she's like, "What are you supposed to be?" And then notices he's like dragging a dead body, and she starts running. And she hides in the sauna, notices Campbell's body in the sauna. She's like, "Okay, this psycho's gone now." So she leaves. And she's walking through.
Spoiler alert, the psycho's not gone.
No. He grabs her when she passes
yeah.
him. He like comes out from a like corner and grabs her, throws her through a shower. I believe it's a shower.
Yeah. Some glass
Rich people. This house is
panel and a
ridiculous.
steam room wall.
Throws her through the glass wall, and then she's like crawling up. She's all bloody. He grabs her and he just forces her
Smashes the glass up
right like through her neck.
through her neck. Super
It's
super
great.
grody.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. And then we go back up to the party.
The party is going on.
And when does so then Denise Richards
This is probably her best scene in this
goes
movie.
to the hot tub.
No.
What happens?
She goes up, so she has been playing phone tag with Brian from Speed
Oh yeah,
Dating for, like, days.
yeah.
And he meets her at this party, and so she's dancing like sexy, but it's really awkward.
It's really weird. She's just sort of bouncing.
And then
But
the girl
it's better-
behind her is like,
Really in it. And it doesn't go with the music at all, which we know isn't her fault.
and he's like, "Let's go somewhere private. I have something to show you." So they go upstairs, and of course he shows her his dick because men.
And he's like,
And
wax
she's
it.
like, oh, you came here to show me your penis. Yay.
And he was like, stay,
he's like, "Come on,
relax,
wax
it's fun.
Like, I never use the term wax it.
I've never heard that term either. Whack it? But I think it's like, I'm gonna, like, I can't use it
It's because
because
you're
I don't have a
slicking
dick.
it up, so you're gonna
Wax
it
it?
with your mouth. Slick that up.
Not a real term. It's just something to set up for the situation.
So
where
she's
she
like, I'm leaving,
has-
and he like grabs her and says, no, it's for adults, it'll be fine.
relax.
And so
it'll be
she's like, okay. So she's like, kisses him a little bit, gets him on the bed, gets his pants off, gets him like his shirt
gets
off,
him all nudie.
and gets him all nudie, gets him on the bed,
And then
climbs on
she
top
just
of
happens
him.
to know that there's this drawer full
A
of
drawer full of scarves, because
and
rich people, I think,
have
have
drawers full of scarves.
And starts like, she just expertly ties up his hands.
Ties
and
him right up.
And then blindfolds
and he's
him.
like, I knew you were a freaky bitch.
Yeah. I knew you were kinky, Paige. And she's
Yeah.
like, oh, you still want me to wax it? And of course, this room is just empty. I
But
think
filled
most of
with
the time,
lit candles.
filled with lit candles. She's like, oh, wax it. And she grabs a big red candle and dumps it on his junk. And he's like, Paige, bitch. And she's wonderful. She walks back downstairs. Kate's like, something wrong with Brian. And she's like, eh.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
So then she goes to the hot tub.
yeah.
And then that's her murder scene.
Yeah, so she's in the hot tub. She like
How does the glass get put over the top? I missed that.
he like I think it's like over the side of it and he like pulls it all up.
Oh. It's weird to even have like fiberglass to put over your
I
hot
just
tub.
I just attribute that to just rich people.
Want
Like
fiberglass for the
I mean,
top of
because
their
this
hot tub?
house has like it's a fucking rainforest down there.
Yeah. It's huge too.
There's so much shit. This house is a
It's
compound.
massively large.
It is just all that Dorothy has going for her is her father's money.
In this house. That is her father's.
She like her yoga membership isn't even hers because her dad pays for
Right.
it.
So anyway, she gets
Nothing.
trapped under the fiberglass and
But like we see the killer like sneak in and all of a sudden there's a rose.
oh
so
gosh,
she, like,
I like
sees
missed
this rose and
everything in
she's
this
like,
movie. Did I fall asleep?
Someone want to be my
I
Valentine?
feel like I was watching it.
And then so she's like kind of walking around. And then he grabs her from behind and
Throws her in.
throws her
Then-
stunt double into the hot tub
Lid on it.
and then lay it on.
And then he has a
And then he goes and grabs a drill.
power
Yes.
drill.
A drill. I believe that's the technical term.
Yep.
Power drill.
Power drill.
Um,
And
and
Starts,
starts like
like-
drilling holes through it, and then she starts trying to suck air through it because there's not that much between the water
yeah.
and he's like drilling holes, and he
And
gets
then
her
he
in the
gets
arm.
her.
And she like starts bleeding, and she's kind of hurt.
And he lifts up the
And
top.
he lifts up the top
and he throws the power drill.
that plugged-in power drill, and
I thought
because
that-
in the what?
I
Well,
guess it could have been a battery
battery
powered.
pack, because this is like I don't think that works, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think you can throw
So it
batteries in
has
a
to
pool
be,
and nobody
right.
dies.
Right. So this is plugged in.
Right. That kind of power drill.
Because in the beginning, Paige turns him down by saying she'd rather be boiled alive.
And so she sort of is.
Yeah.
And then that makes all of the electricity in the whole house go out.
Yes.
And then
Blown, and
what's
Dorothy's
her
like,
butt?
people are really
people are clearing out.
Well,
There's
that's
no
because
power
no
in
one
the
is-
house and no one
the
likes
only
you.
people that are at this house that are your friends are dead now.
Right.
They're
Except
the
for
three
Kate.
girls, but well, 4 technically, right? But one's dead. So it would be 2.
2 are dead. But only
Right. So 4 girls, 2 were dead.
yeah.
But it would only be probably 3 girls because I
Right.
don't think Shelley really hangs out with them anymore, right?
Right.
Because Catherine Heigl can't be bothered.
Right. So then I don't know what happened. And what's her name? Kate is like running
Dorothy
around
and
downstairs.
Kate get in like a fight because Dorothy's like, well, it could be Adam.
Oh yeah, and
because
she's
like doesn't want. She's just like, I'm the fat girl,
right?
And
she goes
Kate
off
is like, I never really
and
saw
is
you
like
that
a
way.
total jerk, and
she's terrible.
And
And she
then
like runs upstairs.
Kate's
I think.
like, well, it could be
Adam.
Carter Campbell. And she's like, how dare you?
It is like ridiculous. It's like, you don't know Campbell. He is a loser.
Right.
We know him better than you do, Dorothy.
And we've only met
Because I
him for
swear
20
this
minutes.
is her first boyfriend.
That's, yeah, at 45.
Yeah.
Which is too bad. And then somehow it comes up that her dad keeps guns in the basement.
Yeah.
In his office.
Yeah, I think that happens like a little bit before.
Okay. And then Kate goes downstairs. Why does she go downstairs?
Kate goes out and she's like calling the detective because I think the detective was coming to the house.
Who is she? Does she see him in the water?
And so she's like calling and she hears his phone ringing. So she goes to find his phone, sees
because she's
his
left
phone.
the house.
Yes. So she's outside this palatial compound.
Palatial regalia. Does anybody remember that thing?
No.
Oh.
What is that?
It was like a weird YouTube video that was popular for some reason.
That.
Palatial regalia.
So she gets his cell phone. She sees the IOU TLC note that she wrote to Adam. And then the detective's head like floats
up to the top of like this outdoor pond thing.
She runs back in the house. She can't find Dorothy.
She runs downstairs.
Adam is there, right?
And he's had a couple of drinks.
He's drunk. And she doesn't like when he's drunk.
Because he has a drinking problem. And is less pleasant when drunk. And then she must see another dead person. Because then all of a sudden she decides that Adam must be the killer. And she kicks him in the nuts.
Well, I think it's like the note.
Oh, because the note was next to the detective.
So I think seeing the note, because I don't think...
Or whatever.
She doesn't see, because then they kind of start dancing, right?
And he's like, which we recapped already.
And then she knees him in the nuts, and then starts running, and then she sees, like, the ex-girlfriend girl, the rich girl. Who I can't remember her name, but I know the actress's name is Hetty Burris.
She sees Hetty.
So she sees Hetty, and then she finds Paige.
So, you should just watch the movie, because it's this exact length. It's like an hour
it's
and
like an hour
20 minutes. Yeah.
Katie's a stickler for time. So I guess we have to end this recording now.
We're not even gonna finish the movie. It's over.
And he's like chases her and is just like he's ruminating. He's doing like a killer monologue. He is doing a killer's monologue. Basically. I mean,
what is he saying? I don't remember him
it's
talking.
kind of like saying he's just kind of recounting like how she thinks he's so bad.
Right.
So it's killer monologue adjacent, I think.
Okay. And then she knees him in the nuts and runs away.
She's
and
like
then
running.
She hits him over the head with a champagne bottle and runs away.
And she gets into the father's office, Dorothy's dad's office.
Gets a gun. And then comes out.
And she's like...
Oh my god.
She's shaky with the gun.
And then...
She gets to like the top of the stairs and opens the door, like walks out the doorway, and then this Cupid face killer jumps on her. And they tumble down the stairs.
Why does she jump on her?
And
then Angel...
they're at the bottom of the stairs and she's like, oh my god, this Cupid is dead. Thank God.
Right.
And then the Cupid gets up.
And then Adam
and then there's like 8 gunshots in the chest. Just a really heroic move on him. Saves her from the Cupid killer.
And then he takes off the mask.
And they unmask it.
And lo and behold,
it's fucking Dorothy.
It's Dorothy.
She had nothing going for her.
Which is weird because it looked like a man the whole time.
I know.
And
'Cause
you're like,
she
gosh,
was
I guess
tall.
she was big.
She really, yeah, so she just really knew how to use her bulk, I guess. I'm a fat person, so it's totally fine.
I'm morbidly obese on the BMI scale, so we can all say whatever we want.
Holy, like, look how many chins I have. Don't argue with me. And it is that they call the cops. It's just like everything is really calm at this moment.
Yeah.
So she calls the,
Everything's
cops,
winding down.
and he's just
he's
like,
just
it's at the top of the
comforting
hill.
her.
You can't miss it. She is just, I am so sorry. I can't
I should
believe
have
I
never
acted
thought
way.
that about
Blah,
you.
blah, blah,
I
blah,
love
blah.
you.
They end in an embrace. He is holding her.
This makes me uncomfortable. And
then
his
blood.
nose starts bleeding.
Because we
Which
should
we
mention,
didn't mention.
every single time the Cupid killer killed
Bloody
someone,
nose.
he had a bloody nose. Because in the beginning, Jeremy Milton gets a bloody nose.
So, there you go.
When he is, like, intimidated by the mean kids.
So
it wasn't Dorothy. It was Adam.
it was Adam the whole
He is
time.
Jeremy Milton. And I need to comment on the blood hitting her cheek and her not reacting. You're not
weird.
asleep. You're not asleep.
Weird.
Wouldn't you be like, oh, a tear just hit me or something?
And like wipe
it and like kind of
and look
react
at
to
it.
You can see her wanting to, like her eye twitches.
Doesn't.
And
No reaction.
she
And then
just,
it just like closes out.
That like the blood dripping on my cheek, I would be like, what's that? Oh, what?
And then like
I think that we were probably saving that for the sequel. But there never was one. 2001 post-Scream slasher.
I liked it.
I like it a lot. I saw it in theaters and became like weirdly obsessed with it.
He watched it yesterday and then again today. So I like how he says became like maybe it was a thing of the past.
No,
Potentially
it's still a thing.
Still ongoing obsession.
If we were talking about urban legend,
I mean, you watched it over and over.
I think I watched it 150 times last year.
These are my obsessions. Just when I thought I said
all
all
it was
I
my
could
favorite
say.
movie of 2020. I watched Urban Legend so many times. So to me, so it's Scream, right? So you have Scream, and then you have like the Scream ripoffs. So you have like I Know What You Did Last Summer, which was like the first. So it was always like Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Urban Legend. It is now for me.
I Know What You Did Last Summer a ripoff of Scream?
Because I mean there weren't slasher movies really happening before Scream came out.
But Scream is a making of a slasher movie being a
yeah, it's
slasher
like meta,
movie.
but
It's
so
meta before meta
but
was
it's just
meta.
there was a slasher boom after Scream, so that's what
Slasher
I'm saying.
boob.
So like
Boom?
boom,
Oh.
boob.
Slasher boob.
So like you got I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is very much not a Scream slasher movie. It is like the ones that they're parodying. So it's like an 80s slasher.
Got it.
Then you get Urban Legend, which is more like Scream. Urban Legend is now above I Know What You Did Last Summer for me.
Wow. I don't know. That's probably fair. I Know What You Did Last Summer, while I enjoy it
Love
deeply, is not
It doesn't have the
in
killer
fact
that
an
Urban
incredible
Legend is.
movie.
And that
Right.
is what just...
There's a lot of... apparently it's a confusing plot. Everybody's lost by the end.
Talks about how convoluted I Know What You Did Last Summer is. And I'm like...
I think
It's
there's a
not-
brief mystery about
it's
who
like-
might be the killer, and
I'm
then
like,
it is immediately
Never
answered.
did I not follow this.
Right.
Ever. Like...
Anyway.
But I guess it's slightly convoluted. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's Valentine.
That's Valentine.
That is our seasonal offer. We'll probably do another one.
Unlike just like a I don't want to be in trouble if Joey were to watch this. I just want to. We weren't
being
assholes.
We weren't. I was
Not that I'll be in like trouble. I don't know how else to phrase
'Cause
that.
you're
I just don't want to
dating.
be where
You
yeah.
don't want to.
And
you
it's
don't
like
be in trouble with
fresh.
your boyfriend.
It's like I don't know that. a thing
Should
yet.
we just stop this now before we talk
We should have
anymore?
probably stopped it right when we started, and then when the
We
dogs
can
peed.
redo it. Do you want to just redo it?
Let's just redo it.
Are we done now?
Yeah, we could be done.
All right.